I, 29F, thought my boyfriend, 25M, was my soulmate till he broke my trust. Is this considered cheating? Background: we met while I was in the process of my divorce. Before you judge, getting divorced in my country is not as simple and much more traumatic than in the West. When I left him, I made it clear this marriage is over and I want a divorce, but it took 6 months for my family to come around and finally do it. He was jealous of my career, a cheater, and let his family abuse me, so there was absolutely no going back there. My current BF and I met during the most traumatic time of my life. I had given up all hope of settling down and wasn't looking to date anyone again, but we just clicked. Everyone around us felt that. You know the feeling when you meet someone and you just know you should be together? That's what we felt for each other, and I had never felt that before. Needless to say, was a rock during my whole divorce situation and helped counsel and listen to me with the struggles I was going through. He had a traumatic past. He never talked much about it though. I had to drag it out of him because I wanted to help him get through it like he did for me. To sum it up, his ex was emotionally manipulative, and because they had sex, she guilt him a lot to marry her now because she is tainted. Sounds fucked up, right? He is one of those guys who are too nice for their own good, so he just fell into a deep depression and suffered through all of it and agreed to marry her. She was emotionally abusive, manipulative and possessive, who would make a fuss if he had any life of his own. Played games, met with friends etc., to the point he had to lie about his whereabouts. They finally broke up because he was too poor for her family, and they basically talked smacked about him being a dirty peasant. Fast forward to now, we were now happily dating. My divorce had been finalized and we planned to move to Europe together, away from the fucked up place we grew up in. While we were planning our move, I caught him in a lie. Turns out, all this time I was going through my divorce. While he was consoling me and talking smack about his ex, he was actually in regular contact with her. Not as a girlfriend but as a friend. His reason being that was deeply disturbed and suicidal, who has no friends and would have killed herself if he hadn't kept in touch with her. He talked to her just to get her through her day, and it was never sexual or romantic, and because he felt guilt and shame for ruining her life. Mind you, all this happened while we talked 24/7 and were planning our lives together. It is hard to express in words how betrayed I felt. I felt disconnected, angry. Given that I had just started recovering from my divorce with a husband who had cheated on me not 6 months into our marriage. This betrayal hurt even more because all this was from a guy who I thought was my soulmate, and I had never even felt that for my ex-husband. I went no contact with him for days. We worked in the same building, so it was hard. He made a lot of apologies and said he was in bad shape because he doesn't want to lose me, and everything with her ex was over since a month. I had just lost all trust in anything he had to say and asked to see the messages myself, which he shared with me with no reluctance. Most of the things he claimed were right. Their conversation was purely platonic and nothing more. What did hit a nerve was: 1. He never told her about me. She had her doubts that he was seeing me, from mutuals and social media, but he flat out denied it. 2. She was still trying to keep him bound to her. Making suggestive comments like how she is still in love with him and she can't marry someone else because she can't leave him. 3. He jumped at her disposal even at 3 a.m. at night if she needed his help with work. Which does not seem like appropriate behavior for a friend. Another interesting thing to mention here is that even though he barely mentioned her, I was always uneasy with their supposed friendship, which he said he casually talks to her and he remained friendly with her. I am not the insecure type, so I was okay with it, and he assured me that she knew about us dating, which I later found out was total BS. So not only he went behind my back, but he also made me feel like the crazy one every time I hinted my concern. I started to question my intuitions, which have never been wrong in the past. Clearly, they were right again. I couldn't understand why he didn't come to me with this. I would have tried to find a way with him other than lying to his girlfriend, hiding his phone and then claiming to be single to your ex. We broke up for a while and I decided to take some time to heal on my own, which I realized I never did after my divorce. Meanwhile, we both had gotten job offers from EU and had already leased an apartment together. Even after everything, I wasn't able to shake what I felt for him and decided to try giving it another shot and having a fresh start together. We moved in together 6 months ago and this is the happiest I have been in my life. We have an amazing relationship with a big but looming over our heads. We never spoke about what happened since we moved here until last night. He broke down out of the blue and said he can't stop thinking about what he did and asked if I trust him and forgive him at all. I did not have the answers myself. How should I tell the person I love the most that I may never be able to trust him again? The big question is this considered as cheating? I am not sure if I should treat him as he did, and where do we go from here? Should we seek counseling or just try to push this aside hoping that time will heal? I don't want to lose him, but I would never be completely sure of his motives either. What if he is just staying with me out of guilt because that's what did with his ex too, right? Is he capable of hurting me again? I am questioning everything. TLDR, my 29F, BF, 24M, was talking to his ex behind my back for months and lied to me. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel for more Reddit stories.